Just as we can use math to represent utility functions modeling how happy a certain bundle of goods can make us, we can do the same to represent a production function showing how much a firm can produce with a certain bundle of labor and capital. One common production function is written of the form Q equals A of T times F of L and K. Let's take a look at each component of this function and how it connects to the real world. First, little q is the number of units a firm can produce. So if we're talking about a car factory, Q might be the number of cars the firms can produce in a given year. In general, we use little q to refer to quantities for firms and big Q to refer to quantities for entire markets. F of L and K is a function that takes the amount of labor L and capital K as inputs. In general, the higher L and or K, the higher the level of production, Q. The more people working in the auto factory and the more machines and tools on the factory floor, the more cars the firms can produce in a year. And what about this term here, A of T? A is a productivity factor that improves with time, denoted here as T. It is this productivity factor that's exploded over the past 200 years in agricultural production, with farmers using fertilizer, disease-resistant seeds, tractors, and better land management practices. Something similar has happened to the productivity factor in automobile production. In the early 1900s, Henry Ford introduced innovations like interchangeable parts and the assembly line that massively increased productivity. With these improvements, Ford could take a given number of workers and equipment, a given L and K, and produce many more cars than was ever possible before these innovations. All thanks to the power of the A in the production function. And for cars, the productivity factor A hasn't stopped growing yet. In India, a company named Tata produces a $2,500 car that is small, lightweight, and easy to assemble. Its development relied on many engineering innovations that allowed the firm to produce these vehicles quickly and at a low cost. Tata is following the example of Henry Ford. For a given amount of labor and capital, the firm innovates its way to being able to increase production, not by increasing L or K, but by growing the productivity factor A.